'Cause darling, there ain't no river wide enough. Said it backwards. Ain't no mountain low enough. Hello, everyone. Here we are. I got my mountain stencils. Got them all. Here they are. Hi, Lisa. Let's say hi to you first. Lisa's with us today. Say hello, Lisa.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining us.
Hi, Colleen. Hi, Tracy. Hi, Fran. Hi, Diane. So good to have you here. Let's see. Who else am I missing here? Kirsten, Quirky Queens. Hello. Hi, Estella. I'm so glad you're all here. Good to have you. Okay, so let's see. We're having a tea party, right? Did y'all catch that in the explanation? Do you have your cup of tea? You got tea there, Lisa?
I have coffee, but we'll pretend.
I got my iced tea right here, but I do have a cup of coffee as well. Let's see. This is not kava tea. It's a little too early for that. It might knock me out. I did pull out a few little mini books because we're going to be thinking mini today because we want to work with our tea tags. And there are many parts of the tea that you can use, whether it's the actual tea that you're staining your paper with, the tea boxes, which I've been saving these ones because it's like they have little color books inside like that. And I've got them all cut and trimmed up here. Let's see. You can use the tea bags themselves and obviously the tea tags. So, and if you want to get real fussy, you can even use, Splenda has this thing going on with their sweetener now. And they have these little, I wish I would have saved more of these because I'm out of them in the kitchen. And I don't know why I threw them all away. I don't know what I was thinking because I saved these chronically. But every day is a new opportunity and leave a little sparkle wherever you go. Thought those might be fun to add too. So I have my old cigarette box holding them here. I think that's a perfect use. Tea, tobacco, same thing. Not really, but Hi, Chris. How are you? Art Adventures. Crafty Gal. Hello. Art Adventures. Let us know your first name or what you want to be called, I guess. And I will do my best to remember. Oh, Uda, did you change your handle on YouTube? Oh, that's awesome. Oh, we know you. A friend never smoked tea. They do make smoked tea, though. It stinks. I used to work in a place that sold it. Not to smoke, but to drink. And it was like, it had a smoky, it was like old men with pipes that drank it, really. So glad everyone's here. Okay, so first thing I want to do is revisit some of I've got a couple mini books here that I pulled out. I haven't looked at them in a while. I just kind of wanted to remember what I did here that was mini. And then this other one first. This is something I did when I was with Happy Paper People. And I did a tutorial on these and made little tea tags. And I added what looked like the little tag or tab from a tea bag. And then this one was inspired by that as well.
Sharon,
yes.
You're a little bit fuzzy.
Oh, am I? Let me.
You are.
I don't know why.
Thank you, Liz.
Thank you. Yeah. Oh, hi, Liz. Okay, there we go. Is anybody else seeing fuzzy? I'm curious because nothing's changed. Does that work better? Okay. So this is just something I made a few years ago, and it was meant to look like a tea bag. See that? And then this one, same thing, in case you missed that. So the idea was to make tags that had tea tag inspired dangles on them. So that is one way we could go about doing that. There's another little mini book that I did ages ago, and I'm remembering little belly bands. So that's something that we could add to our little book. There's little pockets with little tags. Some same sort of thing we can add. Just a little, but then I added a clay tile that I made to the front, and I thought that was fun too. And my goal here is to make several different styles. And
can you hold it up?
Yes, have them unfinished. Well, have them completed, but don't address the inside or decorate and doodle and do all the things yet, and put them in Ziploc baggies and stick them down on my cart by the recliner. That way, whatever mood I'm in, I have a little something for each one of them for, that mood. And these are little gifts I can send out to friends, or prizes, or, with packages or whatever. This one I haven't opened since I made, and it's been years. So let's see what's inside of it. I believe this was a painted and embossed gel print or paper. I don't think I had a gel plate when I did this years ago. And it was Asian inspired, and it was just a trifold. With that said, I really do like that one. With that said, that was my first idea to use an ugly print. So, first of all, who's doing this with us today? I'm curious. Because we could get started on the first one. I do have a couple more that are done and ready to throw in the Ziploc bag here. These are ones that I made for the tea bags recently, like this week. And they will sit next to my chair, and I can sit and doodle on them. This one could be finished, however. It needs something on the cover. This one is not done, and I actually bound this one with a safety pin with some beads on it, and I thought I would put a charm on it. So I'm trying to figure out a bunch of different ways to use one sheet, make a mini book to add my little tea bags, my little tea bag wisdom to. So who's doing this with us? I'll let you read there, Lisa, while I share these real quick. Go ahead.
I think it's having trouble focusing when you're moving them while they're down, but when you bring them up, we're able to see better.
I'm going to turn my light down. I have a new light, and that might be it. How's that? Is that a little better?
Yes, that's getting better.
So this one was the one I made this week, and this is the one we're going to concentrate on first. And the reason, this is one sheet, and I was just kind of fiddling around with it and figuring out how I could fold it and the way I could make pockets. And this is one sheet folded, what it is. So this one has a pocket on top, and then I put a belly band here. This is not finished yet. This center one here is what happens when you fold it. So I turned it into a pocket, and that actually became the tie for it right there. I know I moved too fast too. That's part of it. There's another one, and I used the tea box for the tags on the inside. And then it turns over and more can be added, but it ends up being this sort of shape right there.
And isn't that the yogi tea or yoga tea?
Yes, it is. So this tea box right here, I love yogi tea. You guys know I drink the kava tea every night, and yogi tea decorates the inside of their boxes. Do you see that? And they're like color books. They're really incredible. And it's hard not to save these. So all I do is trim them down and stick them in here. And I do leave a couple so that they're not cut. So if I want to use it like a book and have it whole, I can. Or I can use them for whatever. They're fun to sit and doodle on, color, you know, like I said. And having these handy in your purse, like on your trip to Scotland, or, you know, next to the recliner, gives you the opportunity to sit and use a black or white marker and, you know, do some bits of outlining on that ugly print, or that's a napkin on the other side. I could color that, maybe use some colored pencils. It's a fun way to use that. So,
very nice.
Is anybody going to do this with us? That's the question.
Let's see. Art Inventors Crafty Gal. That's Huda. Is that right?
Yes. Hey, Margalo.
She is going to participate with us.
Hold on just a moment. Margalo, are you finding morels and are you going over the mountain for them? I'm curious. We have spots for chanterelles, but we don't have morel spots around here. And I'm wondering, are you going to the east side? If you're still here. She lives by me.
Yeah, she said that she'd watch later. I think she's already left us.
Oh, okay. Darn it. I'm going to have to message her and find out. She's not on Facebook, so.
Hi, Kylie.
Hey,
Kylie has joined us.
I am so excited that you're here. I'm glad you're doing good. I'm glad you're here. I hear you're going to be doing our hop with us too, for this upcoming swap exchange. That will be really cool. Okay, so does everybody have their one sheet ready? Are we ready to do this? Now, what we're going to do, I've got a couple different ways to do this here. I just started sitting, I just started folding paper to come up with, I mean, I'm sure some of it's been done, but I wanted to see how many different folds I could get in one piece of paper, and then we'll address the ugly pull part of the paper. It doesn't have to be ugly. I mean, you guys can use any paper you want, but the goal is to use the one sheet.
I'm ready.
Are you ready? Okay, let me get one out here. Let me get, let's see, one of these. I've got a little stack of them next to me here. And what I'm using is some of my unsuccessful, this is one from last year. It was just unsuccessful, and I just stuck it in a box. And I think it's perfect for this, and then I can change it up any way I want. Okay, so what we're going to want to do first is decide, because I did it two different ways here. One of them is the short way, and one of them is the long way. Okay. That's all one sheet. Not
Sharon,
good. Yes.
What size paper would you like us to start with?
A regular A4. So it's going to be your standard printer paper or whatever. You can use anything you want, really.
Okay.
So then we're going to fold our paper in half, and you're going to want to get it as close to perfect as you can. I'm not good at that, really. Not good at perfect. I'm the opposite.
So we're going to fold it in half first.
Fold it in
top
half.
to bottom.
Yeah. And then we're going to use our middle fold there as a guide. And this is cardstock. It can be printer paper. It can be cardstock. It can be whatever. The printer paper is going to fold easier for you. Make sure it's all lined up on the sides, but tuck it in. It doesn't really matter, printer paper or, because we're going to do some stuff to it. So it can be as thick or thin as you want when you start. Now unfold that and do the other side. Notice I'm pushing it in, lining up the sides here. So you can use every part of the tea to make this journal if you want to get real literal about it. You could have a bottle of tea water to dye your paper. You can have, make sure it's straight before you really crease those edges too. I'll be guilty in a second. I'll have a not straight one as an example. Now I'm going to have you turn it sideways and fold it the other way. I'll give a good example here in a minute.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not good at getting things straight. And this is cardstock, so it's a little more difficult. Okay. And then you're going to do that one more time.
Okay.
And use your center as a guide, and then line up the edges. Whoa. Darn it. I have slippy papers here. Okay. I have a bone folder somewhere. I just can't find it. I have a wood one. Don't know where it's at. It's been ages since I've used it. Okay, so now you're going to take your paper and decide.
Eddie.
Hi, Eddie. Glad you're here. Anybody have any questions while we're going? We'll give Eddie a moment to catch up if he wants. We just folded a piece of paper in half, and then in half, and then in half, and then turned it over and did all the same things again. So we end up with this sort of folded piece here. Make sure it's even, you know. All right, and then you get to decide. I'm going to fold those other ones out and show you how I cut them. You get to decide if you want to. Pull this aside. I have a few of them here. Just pulling it back out to where the way it was. This one was alcohol ink, so it actually bled through, which is good because then it's on both sides. So on this one, I kind of did sideways, and I cut down to the first box here, and then I went to the other side and cut to the first box, and then I went to the other side and cut to the first box, and then you can fiddle with how you want to fold it, but it ends up making a really long piece when you fold these over. Let me see if I can do that again.
Okay, Sharon, go through that again. So we're going to cut the first cut is going to be in the center.
Let me show
and go
you
all the way up to the bottom of the top box.
Oh,
is that correct?
One. Here's the other one. Because there's two different ways to do this. You get to decide if you want to start horizontal or start vertical. So this one, do you see this? It made kind of a snake. What you did was you elongated the paper that way. And let me take this and a pencil, and I'll show you again. So let's say I'm going to do this one this way, the horizontal direction, right? So I'm going to want to see my fold here, fold it up, get on the line. I'm going to use a pencil so I can show you. So there's one cut, and then flip it over and go to your line, fold it up so you can see. And there's another cut. Whoops, another cut. And then flip it over and folding it up again so I can see it. And there's another cut. So what it did was make a snake.
Hi, Christy Hartman.
Hey, Christy. How are you? I'm so glad you're here. We're going back to our mini junk journal roots here with all things tea. So with that said, you can also start, you can do exactly the same way and make 3 cuts going the vertical direction, but I chose horizontal this time. Is my AC annoying to anyone? I'm up in the attic and it's warm today. I'm hoping everybody can't hear it. I'm hoping. Okay, so what we have is this. Kind of made a letter M. W. M.
Hi, Violet.
Hey, Violet. Yeah, she was thinking she might make it, but. Oh, that's cool. So I'm really excited that both of you are in Scotland and you're both in the upcoming YouTubers swap for our challenge. So maybe we need to pair you two up. We'll see what happens, what Mariah has in mind there, because she's more in charge of that. But that's pretty cool. Okay, so then we're going to take this piece and just make one big long piece out of it. And you might fiddle with how you want to fold it and what you want to be on the outside and, you know. But the first thing you want to do probably is fold where you have your boxes that are connected. So let's say I fold it in half this way and then fold it down. And then if I decide I don't like it like that, I can flip it over because it's, you know, one sheet, one side, and we all have different ones, is going to have stuff on it and the other one isn't, although we're going to address that. The other way would be to put them together like this and then pull it long. So decide on one side or the other. You're not committed to the way it's folded. You can play with the direction you want it folded. Does that make sense?
It does.
Okay. So then I want to go this way, fold it over, fold it back. And then I want to go this way, fold it over. Wait, I did that wrong. Fold it over, fold it back. So it doesn't matter if they're all the same, because we're going to make different pockets out of each one, and it's good to have some variety in your journal. So maybe that's the first thing we do. There's a couple little places I want to trim up here, which can be done after, doesn't matter. So what it ended up doing was making a really long piece like this. And you'll notice here, let me grab this one so I can show you. Where did it go? Where did I set that one? I'm gonna get all these out of my way. Oh, it's right there. You'll notice with this one, where these pockets went like this, I just glued 2 sides to decide the direction of the pocket. But the one in the middle, if you're going to have it tie like this, you're going to want to have it go in sideways for that to be your tie. So that means start at your middle point. So what I'm going to do first is decide if I want to cover that white on the back first, or if I'm just going to start gluing so I can form my book first, and then I'll adjust that later. I'm going to use my glue, something fine tipped, and it's a side pocket. So that means I need to put glue on this and this. You can see I have a rusty pen here. My glue is becoming a beautiful color. Told you I wouldn't get it perfect here. There is one thing you can do when you go to make your other pockets, but this one, because it's on a fold this way, you may or may not, you can use a paper punch to make a circle or a thumb hole on wherever you choose. This is all according to your own tastes. We're just going to get the basic layout here. How you doing there? Let's pull you up.
No.
Oh, are we getting you at a bad spot?
No, I've got something going here.
Okay. Let's see where you're at.
Okay. So I think I did it backwards.
That's okay. No, you can refold it the other direction. It doesn't matter.
Oh, okay. Then I'm okay then.
Yep. At any point that you want to, if you don't like the way it's folded, go the other way. Hi, Martha. Martha said hello to you, Lisa.
Hi, Martha.
Oh, that's sweet, Diane. It's actually one of many, and it was meant to look like rust, and it's butterflies, but the butterflies didn't have definition, and I had a whole bunch of them because I was practicing. It was at some point last year when I first started playing with alcohol ink on the gel plate. So it's really not a loss. So at this stage, you do your middle first because you know your pocket's going to go in that direction if you're going to have that tie in the middle on that tag. That winds around like that. You don't have to do it that way. You can do it any way you want. We're just thinking mini, and I was trying to come up with different ways to do this. So we know that pocket goes that way, and it's going to point towards the back like that. So then I want to, from there, decide, and I'm going to be refolding these to get my book in the right direction. So you're going to have a couple pages that are double thick. You can decide if the pocket's going to be on top or if it's going to be on the side, or you could even cut some slits in it and make a multi-pocket, which would be kind of fun. Just whatever you would do to a large journal, really, as far as your pockets and tabs and, you know, all that stuff goes. So you see, I folded it that way. And I've got my middle pocket, and you're starting from the middle here. So that means I want to go like this, 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 and this.
It's just me on screen.
Oh, gosh.
They'll be totally lost if they're just watching me.
I'm sorry, guys. Okay. So as long as you start at your middle pocket and you decide from there if you're going to do this middle tab to tie it or connect it, then you can start folding it the way you want it, knowing that where you have these folds, that's going to be a pocket. And then I folded that one that way. Folded this way. There's another one of my pockets. That way, that way. So what I'm probably going to do is glue the front and back here so that I have a double thick cover. But I won't worry about that for a minute. I might stick a paper clip on it though, so I am reminded what I'm doing here. Just because they can all be different, and whatever you decide. Let's see if I can find a paper clip. I've been doing all that organizing, you guys, and I can't find anything. It's true. It's really true. Actually, I know where my paper clips are. They're right behind my computer screen in a little drawer. Can't get to them currently. I have a few here. Okay. So that's just telling me that I'm going to glue those ones. I'm just not ready to do it yet. Are y'all with me so far? You don't have to fold them like this. Fold them any way you want. This is just so we can make it out of one sheet and only have a few little cuts. That was the point. And now I'm going to take, let's see, because I'm probably going to decorate the other side, or maybe I won't this one. You know I love these. Maybe I'll put a spine on this one because I did them all different and that was the goal. I just want to see how many different ways you guys can come up with to use one sheet for a book. One ugly print. That's the goal. Maybe this one will get a cover. So I'm going to go ahead and, well, if I put a cover on it, do I want to glue that yet? Or am I just going to, I'm going to glue it because I'm just going to put a spine on it, I think. So, but I'm going to leave it a pocket. So watch this. And maybe with this one, I'll do this a little bit different in the back. Maybe I can.
Sharon, you said that you could make it into pockets or you could leave them as individual pages. Is that correct?
Well, you're going to have some pockets because when you fold it, each time you fold it over, you have a spot that's going to be doubled up. So that means that those are going to be pockets, those doubled up spots.
Mm-hmm.
They just have to be because they're going to be, I mean, unless you glued them solid, I guess you don't have to have a pocket. But, you know, it's giving us an opportunity to add our tea bag wisdom in or whatever we want, really. But it gives us a place to put little tiny tags as well. So did you guys see what I just did there? If I put a spine on this, just a spine, I cut a little notch out right there. And that's going to create a little pocket when I glue that down. That's already there. So let me get the ink out and I can show you. Okay. And maybe I'll even do this with a hole punch, kind of like treating, oh, that's a tiny hole punch. That's not big enough. Treating it like it's a thumb tab in a regular pocket. Oh, it's tiny. There. All right, so I'm going to glue that. That's my back. All right, let me read some comments here. Hi, Rhonda. How you doing? Rhonda, we have Lisa Mingus here today. So awesome. Let's see. Long accordion folded book. Exactly. That's right. And it can be as, you can add as many pockets individually or whatever, but the whole point was to use one sheet. And breaking up an ugly print or scrapbook paper that you don't really like or whatever, it's a great way to do that because we're going to be adding other things to it. See, I told you had to get it straight, and look at me making a mess, having uneven edges. Okay, so when I go to add my, I'll add a spine to this, it's going to fix that little gap right there.
Hi, Evie.
Concerned about. Hey, Evie. It's Evie. I keep doing that too.
Oh, sorry.
No, I did it too. How are you doing? I always forget too, and I think it's Evelyn, isn't it?
Well, I figured her name was Evelyn. It's a common name in our area.
But as well as we know her, I still feel terrible when I mispronounce it just at a glance, and I don't know how it happens, but it does. I'm sorry. She forgives us. It's okay.
As long as she forgives us, I guess it'll be all right.
Yeah, she forgives us. Okay, and at this point, I'm going to decide which direction I want these pockets to be. And I think I'm going to put these ones on top. So that means that I'm going to want to glue the sides. Or maybe I'll put these ones on the side again, and I'll do most of this from this side. Because I'm not going to use the back, I kind of need to do it that way. On the other one, I used the back, and I let it so you could still see the back. This one, if I put a spine on it, I won't be able to. So I will need these to be front opening pockets. Does that make sense? I think it does. In my brain, it does momentarily. So I'm just going to go ahead and glue those up. And it really only needs one strip of glue because it's closed on the other. Like that. This is all about the tea. So, in drag queen terms, that is the gossip. What's the gossip, Lisa?
Everybody's just saying hello. How many people do we have that are working along with us? Oh, Eddie wants us to spill the tea. It's 5 o'clock somewhere, right?
Huh?
I said it's 5 o'clock somewhere. We could have some firefly tea.
Ooh,
where I'm from, you can go and get what they call firefly martinis, and they're pretty interesting.
Is it like fireball and tea? Because it seems like those
it wasn't. It was something else, but I'm gonna tell you, it didn't take but 2 of them and dinner, and
wow.
I had to call a driver.
Wow. So
I learned the lesson.
You don't know what's in them?
I don't know what all they put in it. No, but it was very, very tasty. Very good.
So I wonder if it's a Long Island iced tea.
Well, it was different from the ingredients were different.
Huh. Firefly martini.
But it was a regular size martini glass, and when they brought it, I thought, man, this is pretty good. And I had never drank a martini before. I'm a lightweight anyway. And I had gone by after work. I had not had lunch, and I drank that, and I was done.
I'm a cheap date anyway. As a bartender for 26 years, I was really good to have around because I didn't drink up the profits because I would be on the bar.
Yeah,
We've talked
well,
about this. I'm not good at that.
they teased me. My kids teased me, and then I started drinking tequila, and that
Oh,
was interesting.
that's
So
fun.
when we
Hmm.
go out, like if we go out we usually go somewhere special for Christmas. And when we go places, they'll say, she can't have but one.
My husband always tries to get me to have more than one.
Yeah.
Okay, so if we do it like this, and we're going to put a spine on the back, that means that we're really not going to have anything exposed on the other side. It becomes the interior of the book. And the goal is to not have too many pages anyway, and that actually is perfect. But then we get to make one more choice because we have the 3 side pockets here. Side pocket, side pocket, side pocket. But these could also become another double pocket right here. So if I do that, otherwise it's just, because it's going to be together anyway in the journal with a spine. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, but I'm going to punch some holes to give it a thumb hole. And I want to do them off on the sides this time, just for interest. Do one on one side, do one on the other, just to make them different. Let's see, did that work? Oh no, that made them the same. That's okay. I'll do the other one that way. Let's see. One on this side, one on this side. So it looks like you're putting them on the same side, but actually when you fold them up, they're on opposite sides. There we go. Just like that. There. So I have to figure out how I want to put a spine on it, and if there's anything else I need to do to it first before I put that spine on. And all the decorating I can do with it spread out like this, which would be easier than after the spine, probably. Because then I can just lay a stencil down on it and go for it.
Hi, Judy P.
Hey, Judy. How you doing, love? Glad you're here. So I'm just doing this so I can see my thumb holes, cover up any imperfections, see my creases. Let's see. So now we have something that looks like this, if you're following this fold along. All these little pieces here. So I'm going to lay it out before I glue those pockets up and do all that hoop-de-doo to it. Hoop-de-doo. And I'm going to find that stencil. Remember I said a stencil with small spaces. And I pulled out a collection here. And they've all got pretty small spaces. I want to find the one that goes best with this. I do have some different ones, and I might grab a couple. I think I'm going to do a couple different kinds of journal, and I'll do one that's more like vintage, grungy, sort of Victorian looking, and then I'll do one that's artsy, and this will be my artsy one, I think. Is this the artsy one? Let me think for a second. This is good colors for both.
Hi, Trish.
Hey, Trish. Maybe this is my Victorian-y one because it's got the rust and it's got the blue. So maybe a less artsy stencil and more of a pretty little pattern, more, sort of steampunk or Victorian or something along those lines. So I'll put these ones back for now. I have a bird. And we'll get to the tea box and how you would use that soon too, and that'll be with our tags. But let me put these aside.
Did you remember to put your top on your glue?
I did. It's over here. It's got a pin.
Okay.
It's got a rusty pin now because I
yes, mine does too.
Yeah.
And I know if I get a quilting pin, it should not be a rusty one. So I got to
I've
swap
ordered
that out.
stainless steel pins so many times from Amazon, and they're not actually stainless steel. And it makes me mad. You can search stainless steel. It doesn't matter. I don't know what the deal is. Like how I'm supposed to get to know for sure. They're not supposed to be rustable, I guess. Is that a word? Rustable?
They're not supposed to. That's correct.
Yeah. It makes me mad. I've ordered them twice in 2 different companies.
Kylie.
And searched stainless steel.
Kylie, thank you for stopping by.
Oh, I'm so glad.
We're so glad to see you today.
Yes. Thank you, Kylie. I'm glad you're doing better and we're getting to see you again. That's so nice. And we'll see you in Makers or in the Hop group. I'll see you later. Thank you, Kylie. Hey, this is that moment, and Miriam came up with what to say last time. Are you having fun? Because I don't have a spiel. I'm not good at it. And I need to say, are you having fun? If you are, a thumbs up would be so appreciated. And subscribe if you haven't. And if you're watching this on replay, I would love to see or hear your input on this project. That would be great. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to use a contrasting color. And that would mean something that has some impact next to this. So I'm thinking like black or white or cream. A cream color would be nice, although I have a lot of white in here already. Maybe what I need is like a copper or a gold. That would be good.
I thought about the copper. I thought about using copper.
Spray.
I love copper.
I do have this stuff. This iridescent bronze that's such a nice color, and it's like I also have this one. Oh, I have a brown that would be perfect. My pearl brown, maybe. Where did it go? Where is it? Give me a minute. Just headed out too. Okay, not finding it. There it is. This pearl brown, I love it. It is one of my favorite colors. I'm also going to pull the white out. Okay. So I want to get this paint on here to dry while I make the little tags. And I'm just going to use a sponge. It doesn't need, and I need to add some interest here and there and kind of break up what's going on. So it's not going to be necessarily all over, but this is really up to your taste and what you like. Another way would be with a spray, or I could just use ink even. Let's see that for real quick.
I grabbed my strippers.
Did you?
I did.
Strippers are the perfect size for this too, because
they wanted to come out and play.
Your strippers wanted out to play.
Eddie, they were on the pole. I just grabbed them.
Do you keep your strippers on a pole?
Actually, I have a tall glass vase that I stand them up in it because I tried doing Siri's method of putting them in a book, and with my strippers, I did not like them in the book. I wanted them closer, so I just have them standing up, and when I finish with them, I give them time to dry, and then I just drop them down in, and they don't get bent or damaged. So it seems to work pretty good for me.
I love that storage tip. That's great. Okay, so I decided to use the ink after all because it was easy. And I'm just putting it in the white spaces for now, and then we'll decide if any of this is going to show. I need to know now. So having those pockets not done yet means that I can kind of do the inside of the pockets this way. Just a little bit of extra, just the tops really need done, I think.
Do you wash them on Sundays, Eddie? Just because? He washes his stencils on Saturdays.
Oh, they have a bath, a weekly bath
Yeah.
in one of those copper cowboy tubs. I can see it now.
Mine go to the spa.
Do they?
Yeah. When they get really dirty, I do take them to the spa.
I do a bubble bath once in a while in Murphy's oil.
Yes. And I also put a little bit of Dawn in. Hi, Marta.
Hey, Marta. We have Marta and Martha here. That's always a treat.
Christy Hartman said Paula should be here so she could send Eddie to the naughty chair.
Not Eddie. What did you say?
For talking about giving his strippers a bath.
Oh. Maybe just a sponge bath.
Hey, dirty fun is dirty fun.
Okay, so I did that side at the top so that when I have my pockets handy here, there's a little bit of pattern left behind, you know, that you can see like that. Not so hard. This could also be sprayed at this point if you don't want it white. It's just going to need a moment to dry. And then I am going to have to decide how I want to bind it. I'm probably going to put something on the front. Maybe something sheer even. Maybe some fabric. I haven't decided yet. But since I didn't end up using paint on it yet, I need to decide what other interest I'm going to add here before I do that next step. I mean, it can all be adjusted later. It does look nice and rusty.
Hi, Mary Ellen.
Hey, Mary Ellen. How are you? Glad you're here. We have Lisa over there. Let's pull you up and see how you're doing, Lisa.
I'm pouncing.
Let's see. Show us what you got.
I think we froze. Yeah, I'm pouncing.
Uh-huh. With paint.
Yeah, I've got I'm just using my sponge and some white paint. And I'm putting a few marks on.
Awesome.
And
Can
my
you
book
hold
is
it up
not
into
folded
the
like your
technology
book, but it's
for us?
folded.
Well, any way you want to do it, I mean, you guys play with those folds. Just, it's a matter of figuring out where and how you want your pockets. And I mean, that's kind of fun, right?
Yeah, I kind of like, I've got it to where it folds front and back, folds up and flips.
Uh-huh.
It's interesting.
I want to make all of mine, sorry, I have a pin in my mouth. I want to make all of them different so that I'm not bored when I'm sitting downstairs. If I have a minute and I just feel like I want to fuss with something, and I can have them all in different styles, but they can all be intended for the same purpose, which is all these little T-tabs that I keep saving. You know, I mean, I have, look at how many, and this collection is growing because I use 2 tea bags a day. So I think this is a fun little project, and it's something that I can certainly make for Happy Mail for my friends.
I agree. I think they're adorable.
The next one will be super arty, but this one I do need to add some more something before I bind it. And I've got this sort of steampunky calendar circle thing. Because it's tea tags and it's little bits of wisdom, I feel like it needs like Zen stuff, whether it's garden things or circles or Buddhas or birds, which is something I use often. But I just want to add a few little things throughout, and I think this circle would be nice. I did, you guys, cut my stencils that have the many different in the small set on the PM website. And I thought, since there's so many of the same size, it would be really fun to use one on the cover like a die cut almost. And that's always an option if you buy that set.
I love those.
There's just so many on that one stencil set that come on that sheet. So it's just a perfect way to use them. I mean, you can crust them up with paint first, and then when you're done crusting them up with paint, you could use them on a mini book. Like a die.
You've got all your friends are calling out, to let you know that they are your friends. They're your really good friends.
Oh, I was like, what? Did I say something? Oh, yeah, it's the books. That took me. Sorry.
If you decide you want to part with some of these nice little books.
Yes. I'm going to continue with the ink because that worked really well. And I'm going to find another contrasting color here. I have
Debsy, we go through a gallon of sweet tea a day for my husband, and I go through 2 quarts of sweetened with stevia. But that's what we grew up, the way we grew up. And he's actually kind of worried about when we get in Scotland. He said, I don't know what I'll drink. I don't know what I'm going to eat. He's already looked for it.
There. It's Scotland.
Well, he's not going to eat what they eat. Typically.
Is he a picky eater?
He eats bread and cheese and beef.
Are you kidding?
I mean, he does not eat any kind of fish. He does not eat. He doesn't eat much outside of that. He does love corned beef.
How do you handle it?
Haggis? No, he won't be doing that.
How do you handle that as a woman that cooks?
I grew up eating liver pudding, so I don't figure haggis could be much worse, I mean, hot dogs have everything under the sun. So, you get a hot dog, you getting everything. And then there's chicken nuggets. If you get chicken nuggets, you're getting everything but the lips and the bottom end. Anything in between.
I can handle that. I'm so glad my husband will eat anything I fix him.
Well,
that would drive me crazy.
Our youngest daughter is just like her dad. I mean, she's actually pickier because she doesn't eat red meat. But
oh my goodness, that would make me nuts.
Me, I'll try anything once. But if I don't like it, I mean, that's another thing. But I'll eat just about anything. I love all kinds of vegetables. So
I'll try anything twice to make sure I don't like it.
I'll eat any kind of vegetable. I will eat just about any kind of meat. I've had turtle.
There are some meats I wouldn't try because I'm pretty close to vegetarian sometimes because I'm an animal lover and I feel sorry for the animals. So that means that sometimes I won't eat rabbit. I wouldn't eat a turtle. I've had alligator, but I just don't really like alligator, so I didn't care.
I remember eating rabbit as a child. And I wasn't impressed. I've had rabbit and squirrel and turtle. So.
Oh,
Friend, I've never had. Yeah, I was going to say I never have had snails, but I've had them once, and I wasn't impressed. And I wasn't impressed with lobster either. To me, it
You
was
weren't
kind of
impressed
fatty.
with lobster?
No, I didn't particularly care for lobster.
Are you not a seafood lover?
No, I do eat seafood. I can't eat scallops or clams. I'm
Huh,
highly allergic to those. So
really?
I always have to
Yeah, it
ask,
seems like
if they're cooking fish, if it's cooked separately or if they cook it all together.
lobster would have given you a reaction too.
Um, that was before I had an allergic reaction.
Mm.
Eddie, I like them. Don't get me wrong. I would eat a plate full of them if I didn't think it would be fatal.
I
Yes, I love
live
crab.
on seafood.
I love crabs.
Seafood is the way to go. I don't feel guilty when I eat seafood. It's not like, I mean, and chickens are kind of dumb, but I still even feel bad for chickens. I definitely feel bad for cows and pork. Those are smarter than my dog. Pigs are. And it makes me really sad, but it's the cheapest meat that we can buy, unfortunately.
Oh, I love pork and bacon, fatback. Ooh, that's good stuff.
No. Well, I mean, I do cook pork.
And I've had chitlins before.
You did what?
I have had chitlins before.
Really?
Yep. Yep. Girl I worked with, she said, well, being a country girl, I can't believe that you haven't had chitlins. And I said, well, I can tell you in this lifetime, I have not had chitlins. So she took care of that. She brought a plate of chitlins in, and I mean, they cooked them all day, did all that they do to them. And I looked at the plate and I said, okay, they don't look bad. I can probably do this. And she said, oh, you got to have hot sauce. And I just smothered them with Texas Pete. and that, I mean, they were okay. It wouldn't be something that I would eat on a regular basis, but I would eat those rather than go hungry. Oh, GDP, frogs. I've had frog legs that taste like chicken, and that wasn't too bad.
I don't like frogs.
Yeah, I mean, it's just
like,
so much. There's not much meat for the effort. Is the way I look at it.
I think they taste very aquatic. Everybody says it tastes like chicken. Yes, if the chicken had lived underwater in a swamp. They have that, and I like catfish. I do like some of that swampy stuff. I just didn't really care for frogs.
Yeah, it's there's some variables in there for sure.
So I have some different things here to decorate this with. I may or may not do today because the goal was to get the books made out and do 2 of them to put our tea bag wisdom in. But some of the things that I have here are things from books, and they have these teeny tiny little images that are just the right size for these books. And then I have some little clips here. I have little stickers would work great, things like that. And what I'll do is I'll make up a Ziploc baggie that has these things in it. Of course, I'll keep all my tea bags in their regular container, or my tea tabs, these in this. But then I'll have little Ziploc baggies so that I can have the different styles when I'm ready to assemble them or to decorate them. I think what I'm going to do is put a little lace on the edge of that one. And I'm just deciding, am I ready to do that? Or is there something else I need to do to it before? But I think it's about ready. But these are the kind of things I'm going to put in the Ziploc bag. I thought it would be fun to put one on a keychain too. Wouldn't that be cool?
I think so.
Like let it hang. Yeah. I might want to add some tissue at this point though. I do have this. You could stamp on it and it would be easier to stamp if it was flat. So deciding, those kind of things ahead of time could help, could be beneficial. But most of it can be decided afterwards. I think that's mostly dry. I'm not going to put words on it because I don't want the words to compete with the words I'm adding from the tea bags. So, and it was Lisa's idea to actually use a tea bag, like a used tea bag, to cover these. That would be really cool. That way you're using every part of the tea bags. Except for the tea. Except for that part,
Well, maybe we could find a way to incorporate tea in a tag.
We could put it in a paste, I suppose, and put it on like a texture. Maybe.
I have some tea that I have saved, and I have seen someone take and do like the glue, the Elmer's glue and water, brush it on and just sprinkle it, and then put the tea bag over the top, and it gives that, you get some of the tea texture as well as the bag itself. And sorry, I talk with my hands. I guess you can see that.
Oh, that's okay. I was going back to read some comments here.
You're going to crack up. Eddie says he likes coriander is king in his house as far as spices. And Fran said it reminds her of a rugby sock.
Oh, that's hilarious. And then rugby players are hot. What?
That Mary Ellen Weber said that.
Yes, but not the rugby socks, correct?
No socks or any kind of undergarments. No, we'll pass. We're gonna leave those alone. Hot, sweaty is nice in some situations, but after a game, no, I don't think so.
So,
I like human too.
Some of these before I put the binding on it. I'm actually going to do that. I have these little kind of mandala, but they're not quite mandalas, and they might lend to. And they're small. They're round. They've got some piece. A little bit of mandala. Did you catch that?
A mandala.
Yeah.
Come on.
Come on, because it's inspiration. So maybe I can find the frilliest. That's frilly. That one's a little bit frilly. Just to go with the style. I think those two will do. So I will do that.
My daughter's lizard loves cilantro. We buy cilantro, organic cilantro for the lizard.
You don't have, why organic? I'm just curious.
You don't want to give it something that could have chemicals because it'll kill it. I mean, we don't want to do that. But
isn't it, if you get the cilantro that we all eat from the produce department, isn't it healthy enough?
Don't know. I mean, it's usually not that much more. It doesn't usually cost that much more. It's very inexpensive.
Oh, it is very inexpensive.
Yeah. We feed it out of the herb garden in the summertime. I got parsley, basil. She'll eat that. That's why she gets excited when I go to visit. When I was there the other day, as soon as she heard me, she started looking around the corner of her.
What kind of lizard is she?
She's a bearded dragon, and she's about 6 years old. When she got her, she was probably 4 inches long, and now she's probably about 8.
That's awesome that she knows your voice.
Well, when she would go on vacation or out of town, I would go over there and feed her. And I get her out. She stays here sometimes, but it's a big hassle since she's had to go to the bigger aquarium. It's kind of hard. It's a 2-man job to get her out of the house. So my daughter's on a second floor apartment, so it's not fun. So anyway, when she would come here, I would take her out on the deck on summer days, and I would take a plastic tub out there and put water in it and let it heat up by the sun. And I would take her out, and she loved it. They love to be in water. And
Yeah, they do.
she sits on a sun lamp, but boy, if you put her in the water, she's just as happy as she can be. And it keeps her skin, kind of supple and not dry. She didn't shed
that supple lizard skin. She sounds sexy.
She's cute. She's cute, but I'm prejudiced.
That's funny. I've never heard of a lizard skin described as supple.
Yeah, you think it would be kind of like sandpaper, but it's not. She's got places where she's actually kind of soft, like under her neck. You can rub her, and she'll just sit there. She's like a dog, if you're petting their ears. It's funny. I never thought that she would be like that, ever.
She sounds really sweet.
She is. She has only bit me once.
She's only bit you once.
Yeah, she's only bit me once. Cool. I mean, she is pretty tame.
So I'm pulling out some little bits here from my little bucket. I'm deciding what I want to put on the front before I put the lace on the corner. So, because that's not going to be my front cover. Well, I'm going to cover part of it. And then some of these bits will just end up going in the baggie because they match, and it's a great, some of these things I can put in the baggie and not know if I'm going to use them, but they go, and they're tiny and just the right size. So maybe what I want for the cover is something with a little bit of texture, and I'll just cut out a square, or maybe I'll put one of these photographs on here or one of these stickers.
I like that. The photographs would be cute.
Yeah, they're just the right size, aren't they?
They are.
To treat it like if you're thinking mini but big, the things we would do to a larger one. Oh, I like her. Let's see what the other one looks like. She needs to have the right kind of happy face, though. I like her. She's wearing a hat. I could always do a man. I like a little bit of masculinity,
Ooh, tuna sandwich sounds good. What is this purslane? Is it purslane? Do you know? Are you familiar with that?
Okay, I have no idea.
Purslane.
Nope, not a clue. So I'm going to put these things in this little baggie here. Maybe I'll use some of that on the cover too. And I am going to grab a little piece of lace. This is a good time to use your little washi tape too, guys. Because it's just gathering dust.
Yes, washi tape sounds good.
Gathering dust. That's what it's doing. So, or maybe even right here. So it goes like this. I can't wait to get a binding on this so I can stop unfolding it and folding it back up. It's driving me. I'm driving myself nuts here. I also have this guy right here.
Okay, so it is a succulent. Is it the one that gets the red, like a red bud at the end that turns yellow, a yellow flower? I've got that everywhere. If it is, I'll have to look it up under that name.
What about it? Is it edible? Is that what we're saying?
Yeah, it's in the succulent family, and it's edible.
Huh. I have a lot of edible plants in the yard. that grow naturally, and I have not gone out of my way to kill them, like miner's lettuce and dead thistle, and well, we have lemon balm that grows wild, but it was planted many years ago. So I like this, but I don't think I'm going to use it as the binding. I'm going to use something a little stronger. This is out of a book, but I do think I might want to cover that little edge, maybe a little bit of that, or not, maybe just that, and then my girl with something underneath her. Glue it down first.
Tracy said she loves the lemon balm.
It is good.
She puts it in her tea.
Yeah, and you can use it like a spice too. It's a diuretic. It's really good for your stomach as well. Helps with digestion.
Fran, I like the lemon verbena too.
I don't think I've had that.
I love the smell. I love the smell of it. I grow rue, mint. I have basil. I have thyme. And I had rosemary, but for some reason, something decided it wanted it during the winter, which had never happened before. So I'm going to have to source some of that.
Yeah, we don't have a lot of things that live during the winter, so I'm surprised.
Yeah, I know.
You do.
The deer, probably deer. They eat everything here. It's crazy.
I need a bit of this. I'm reaching for this. So I'm going to choose something that's twice as wide, at least, as this, maybe 3 times, so that it can be glued down. I'm going to glue all my little edges together, I think. I'm trying to decide how to do this. And then put my edge on it. So I want to clip it first. And
Sharon, Margalo is back, and she said that they just got back from searching their 5 acres of wood for morels, and they got a dozen. So that's what they're going to grill for dinner tonight.
Margalo, are they really growing on this side of the mountain? I didn't know you had 5 acres. I'll be right over.
There's a big morel farm in North Carolina.
Really?
They grow them under the longleaf pines. They were told, oh no, you can't do that. You know, that you'll never be successful, and it has been extremely successful.
How about my rusty fabric, guys? That would be perfect.
Yes,
for this.
I like that.
It's even too wide. I have more here. I have some darker. Well, we don't have, oh, there's a perfect piece. We don't have places to get morels here. I did where I came from in Oregon, but even my husband, who's lived here all of his life, has never found a spot for morels other than the random few not out looking for mushrooms, technically. And we keep trying to go over to the east side of the mountain, but we don't know where to go. And I know where it's burned and all that. We pick chanterelles every year. We're just, he doesn't know enough about morels, and I'm not in Oregon to show him where I used to go. So every year we look and we're winging it, and I think we missed the window. Chinook Pass is often closed, and I think if we could get over Chinook Pass, we could find some up there because they have fires there every year. But but it's usually closed during the window, and we almost need to drive all the way around the state to get to the other side of the mountain.
Oh, that's no good. That wouldn't work for me.
I did not know that they were growing on this side because we are on the more wet side of the mountain, and they like a more dry and arid, more spaced out trees. The tree line is a little bit different. The trees are a little bit different. So I don't know. I'm not sure.
Judy P said they have them in their woods.
Really? I'm so jealous. I have been eating morels all my life until I moved to Washington. And we go over in that area now, Margalo. So maybe Bill and I just need to go explore those areas over there more, you know, on our adventures. He'll say, hey, where do you want to go on your adventure? When we have a Sunday planned, or sometimes a Saturday, and I'll say north or west, or I never say north because that's Seattle, but I'll say east, west, you know, south, and we just kind of drive in that direction. Christy, are you leaving us? Oh, wow. Christy, thank you so much for coming. I hope you get to make a mini book with tea items.
Bye, Christy.
It was really good to have you here. Okay, so I'm doing it. I'm gonna glue it, but then do I need to glue this here also, I wonder? Or is it just gonna crack? I don't know. I think I need to put a little bit of glue on it. I do have Violet's little things that she made, and I thought if one of them was small enough, I might add it to this style. Let's see. A little bit of glue. I'm not trying to get a lot, just enough to kind of hold it together.
Hey, Eddie, when you find out, let me know. Never heard of them. So just got some new seeds. It's some kind of blue daisy and some whirligig seeds. Don't know what they are, but Eddie's checking it out for us.
Whirligigs are the ones that spin when they fall off the tree. You know, we used to call them helicopters, I think.
Oh.
I don't know if you did or not, but I
that's
think
what we called the stuff that come off of maple trees. But
yeah,
that don't mean it was right. we were so from the backwoods, so they look like hairy violets.
Okay,
I'll look them up, friend. I got to be in the know on these things that I might see when I get to Scotland. Anything that I've already found out that there are a lot of birds there that we are not familiar with at all.
Oh, I watch if you go to BBC, or I think it's on BBC, Spring Watch, Winter Watch, Autumn Watch, where they have the nature watch for each season, and it's a week-long special they have. It's really fun, but it shows all the different wildlife and birds, and it focuses on birds in the UK.
Okay.
In Scotland, in, you know, the whole shebang, the UK. Okay, so we'll see if that worked.
So they're an African, Fran said that they're an African daisy.
Huh. Now I need to know. I want to see. Daisies are my favorite flowers.
I have a lot of irises that were passed down to me from my aunt who lived at where my mother grew up, her home place. and
Oh,
I love them. I mean, I just moved them, so not all of them have bloomed this year, but you know, when I leave this house, they'll have to go with me. I told Bill, I said, we put too much time in this stuff to leave it all. I said, there's
that's
some things
right.
that have to go.
Oh, I understand that. Okay, so now I'm not going to do my cover yet because I want to get onto that other more artsy book, and I'm going to go about cutting it just a slight different. I'm going to fold it up a different way, show the
Okay.
different ways that you can put it together.
So we need another piece of paper. Is that right? We need another.
If you want to continue, you can, if you want, yes.
Okay.
If you want to continue.
I do have another ugly print. Imagine that.
Imagine that. I know I have stacks of them, and it was stuff I really needed to address. You know, needed to do something.
Everybody's talking about their favorite flowers. Judy P is her favorite is lilacs.
Uh-huh.
We've got Tracy. Tracy loves blue daisies.
Daisies are my favorite, and poppies.
Poppies are very pretty. They plant those here in some of the off the highways. They do like a tiger lily. They do orange and yellow, and they're separate places. And they also do. They have poppies. Some of the sections, like between an exit ramp and the main road, they will have wildflowers growing now. It cuts down on the cost for the state because they don't have to mow. And Diane, I like hydrangeas as well.
Oh, I do really
I've got
like
two
them.
plants that I did. I nurtured them. I cut them and then I rooted them from my neighbor across the street.
This one. I decided to go, I'm going to try to do this one in every opposite way I can from the other book. So I chose, this was the first and only time I used this color, just the way it is. And I was like, I cannot handle that. So I stuck it in a box. And it's not that I don't like green, it's just almost fluorescent. So I'm going to do some things to it, and I'm going to change it, and then I'm going to turn it into something else. But I might want to fold it first. I'm not going to cut it yet because this one I'm going to do a little bit different. Same theory. Folding back and forth, using those creases to help us get it perfectly imperfect. Perfect.
All right, so we're going to make the first fold top to bottom.
Either way, you can start on either side because you're just going to be doing the same amount of folds the same way. Oh, I did it crooked. I know I did it crooked. And this one, the other one was cardstock. This one's actually paper. It's just printer paper. I want to go the other way. And then we're going to decorate it before we cut it this time.
Okay. But the fold is going exactly the same way. Is that correct?
Exactly the same, yeah.
Okay.
Remembering that you may decide to fold it the opposite direction after you get it all cut and ready. That doesn't matter. We're just getting the guidelines in.
Diane, that minus 30 wind chill is extremely cold.
Oh yeah, it's winter there, isn't it, Diane? I forget. You guys,
it says summer, that has to have hardy plants to survive the winters.
Okay, so this one, I'm going to do more nature themed. Nature art, so I can use one of these for my covers. One of the little tiny ones. So I'm going to keep that in mind as I choose a stencil with small spaces because, well, I mean, I'm going to, if you guys want to do big ones, you can, but I'm doing smaller ones so that I can actually see them on here. Let's see. So if it's nature, I have some moons here. I have a PM Artist Studio, ATC stencil. I do have this one that's got some different shapes on it, and I might choose some moments on there. So we'll see. And then I'll be using the other one for the front. So this one I'm going to, I kind of need a big one. I want to lay on it and spray. I'm going to put it in my spray box. So talk amongst yourselves for a minute. Oh, I sent you a photo of the whirligig. Oh, okay.
Yes, I was getting ready to tell you that. Fran sent you a picture, a photo.
Now I'm going to have to open it up and look.
That's okay. You can go peek.
Where is my phone? Talk amongst yourselves. Oh my gosh, that's beautiful. Are you kidding me?
I can't imagine. I like cold weather, but I don't know that I would like that, Diane.
Look at that.
Have you always lived there in British Columbia? Ooh, that's pretty.
It's amazing.
How did that happen?
I don't even know.
It reminds me of like a sea urchin or a
these skinnier places.
No, actually, it looks sort of like a jellyfish or a man of war.
It's amazing.
That's gorgeous.
Wow. Okay, I'm putting my phone away now. I am going to pick out another stencil.
Yes, Mother Nature is definitely the best artist ever.
Most definitely.
I decided to use leaves on mine. This print. This is a print from my early gel plating, and it's pretty sad.
I kind of just want one that's big that I could lay on there, that'll hold it down and all. No edges, no borders, no, but goes with the whole nature thing, kind of.
Yes.
Just a second here. Because I think that more of this stencil will show when I've done.
Diane, in North Carolina, we tend to get more ice than snow. And this year, we really didn't get a whole lot of either. And I was very, very shocked because, some of the things out in nature, kind of made us think that we may have a rough winter, but we didn't.
How about that? If I do the moon, I do the mountain and tree, it kind of goes with the whole, maybe this one is more celestial. And I'm using the green print that's got the seeds on it, like a celestial nature, moons. And some of this will show, some of it won't. I am going to take a piece of tissue paper, though. Oh, and maybe some of this. Watch. Oxide. I'm going to take a piece of tissue and blot it up. Maybe this is a good one for my little mini goddess, too. Let me find a clean piece of tissue. I brought all this tissue paper out to play with, but it's all got stuff on it. Facebook page.
Granted, maybe you can't have it all. Maybe you can't have something that's beautiful and smells good.
Yeah, Fran. What are you thinking? Having it all.
She said Amazon didn't say if it had a scent or not, so she'll just have to wait until it grows to find out what it's going to do.
I'm just blotting it up with one that tore, and then I could use this on the back of a tag. I do think that I want to make a few of the tea bag tags that are going to go in the pockets and show you how I'm going to use the box. So I have a hashtag for this, you guys. And it would be on the title, on the toidle.
It's hashtag teabag wisdom. So if you make something, you know, using any of the tips or tricks that Sharon has done today, hashtag it for us.
Yeah, I'd like to see what everybody else does. If you decide to do this, this is going to be fun. So I'm going to leave this to dry for just a moment. Awesome. And I'm going to work on a couple of these little tags to go with it.
You notice, Sharon, I did not get sprays out. You know why?
Messy?
Because I didn't want to go to Scotland with colored hands.
It comes off. Even
I know it does, but
Tuesday.
You know how messy I get.
Have you seen me?
we were laughing. Bill said something. I think it was Thursday. He said, he said, I was thinking about going to the range, and I said, no. You're not going to the range. I said, because you're going to have to go through TSA in a few days. And I said, everything you touch, will have stuff on it. I said, we're driving the truck. You can't get in the truck and not expect there to be residue on the handle of your truck. And he started laughing, and he said, oh, that's right.
Oh my gosh.
I'm glad he said something before he got ready to go,
Is that really a thing?
They check.
I know about.
They can swab your hands.
Why would they?
They generally do so many per day.
Why?
Yeah.
So are they looking?
I mean, he has gotten swabbed before. I've never gotten swabbed. I just get patted down. But I'm not going to have anything on me this time to be patted down for.
Okay. Is everybody here over 21? Because I have a story. Y'all over 21, raise your hand if you're a minor.
No minors.
Okay.
Everyone present is an adult.
I'm just making sure. Okay, so I went on a couple cruises with RuPaul's Drag Race with all the queens, and it was so much fun. Oh my gosh, never ever have I had such a fun vacation. It was just a blast, and we had the whole boat and whatever. But my friend, on the way there, on the first year that we went, no, it was the second year. We had a couple friends decide to join us because Paul and I had so much fun. But the next year that we went, we had more people that wanted to go with us from work. And one of them was a friend who shall not be named, who had never done drag for anything like that, but had done drag every Halloween. And, it was just fun. And there he was going through TSA. I don't even know if I should tell this story. It is, he's really shy. He was so shy. And he didn't know what he could carry on and what he needed to have in his luggage and all this. And being and he's just painfully shy. He had his carry-on, and they sent it through, and they pulled him aside, and he said, "I'm sorry, sir, but there appears to be something in your luggage that we have to check." It was like stuffies for the dress, to fill out the dress. And they weren't sure if it was real breasts in his bag. Oh my God.
Oh, so they weren't the gel type.
No,
not that I would need them.
They weren't sure. He said, "You understand, sir, we didn't know what was going on here, and they look real in the scanner." My friend almost died in TSA. Almost. I mean, like, of embarrassment. And I felt so bad for him. Oh my gosh. He was just painfully shy, and this made it so bad. And to have to take them out in front of everybody waiting in line in TSA.
I've seen worse things get taken out or thrown out in the process of looking for other things. I've seen worse things fall out of suitcases.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you know what you know what I'm saying.
That was Paul, but he wasn't shy at all. So
the girls our daughters flew down to Universal last weekend, and on the way out, the youngest one got pulled over, and we got a text from the other one saying she was getting cavity searched. And coming back, the other one got
kidding, right?
Well, they were patting her down pretty good.
Oh my gosh.
Enough that the other one was feeling sorry for her. But coming back, the other one got patted down. But she usually does because
why?
It's just not unusual. Because they generally just carry a backpack, so you never know.
Yeah, but I don't understand. You said your daughter, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They don't.
Yeah, they go down to Universal quite often.
Wow.
They've got like season passes, and they went down right around Christmas, and then they went back last weekend. So they'll probably go one or two more times before the year's up to get their money's worth, because it's almost cheaper for them to do it that way than it is to do the individual tickets.
So what I'm doing now, I'm just giving these a light sanding.
So in the comments we have, apparently you can say, "Oh wait, you missed a spot." When getting patted down.
That's something I would have done had I thought of it. Absolutely.
I honestly expect with as much not organic material as I have in my body, I fully expect not to make it through the x-ray only. I bet I get patted down this time.
That's what TSA said. He said, you have something in your bag that looks organic that we need to check. I was trying to remember the wording now that you said it. It was organic.
Yeah.
It was the word organic.
Well,
yeah.
I can show them, serial numbers for my hardware.
Oh, you can, yeah. Why
so,
don't you?
I mean, if they get real handy, that's what I'll do.
So one thing, you can actually take your paperwork and show them before you even go through and say, hey, you're going to see this and this and this. And, I'm sure it's been done. If you have
I have to I have to take my medicine out, and it has to be in a separate bag. So they're going to see that, and they're going to have a field day, I'm sure.
No, you're not the only one. I mean, there's lots of people that travel with medication.
I'm not going to worry about it. It's just going to be the
No.
way it is. And
Yep.
from what our friend has told us, she said she would rather go through immigration anywhere besides the United States. She said getting out is no problem, you know, and you'll get through Scotland
back
just
in, yeah.
fine. She said when you come back into the States is when you're going to get harassed, believe it or not. I said, okay. So
So
I'm sure we'll be all ready for that after partying all week and, you know, being off schedule and all those good things.
partying all week.
Well, you know, that comes with the territory. When you deal with people that have constant pain, they tend to, you know, maybe drink a little heavier than some people do. They're not a stranger to some alcohol, so. And I will drink a little bit, but not much. Just because there's nobody there that'll cut me off.
That was the fun thing about a cruise ship. You drink all day and walk it off before you have the next one, because you walk miles and miles and miles. Plus, you're self-contained, so unless you fall overboard, you're safe.
I know. That's a good thing.
Yeah. So I am just gonna gussy up a few of these boxes. On the other side, you saw me sand a little bit of it. And then this side is like a color book. And then I can decide what side my tea bag words go on. But I don't really want to put them where there are already a lot of busy stuff like words and barcodes and things. So they might go on the other side of this one, but I'm going to let that dry.
Okay.
And then I have a couple napkins here. And maybe I'll use this one that's got a map on it. These won't all necessarily be for the other booklet. I'm just waiting for that one piece to dry, and I want to make a couple of these little mini tags.
You're right about the TSA agents, and thank you for answering, Fran, on that. It can be quite comedic, comical. Watching
especially
people
if you have
through.
breasts in your case.
Well, anything that I think might be a problem is going in the checked baggage. I mean, I've had them where we carry certain items with us. I've had them to ask me, you know, what's in the box. Because like Bill, he carries a regulator for using oxygen. So, you know, those things we have to lay out. If you put them in the bag, they'll tear your bag up and then just shove your stuff back in there. So we try to avoid that.
What's a regulator?
It's what controls the flow of oxygen from a tank to you, to the person.
Oh, okay, I see.
It's like in the UK, their oxygen tanks have the regulator attached already. That's the only way that they're dispensed. But here they dispense you just a tank. You know, you have to do your own thing for the regulator. So
Bill and I have talked about how we would get a drone on at length, because there's no way he would go on a vacation internationally without his drone. And I know people do it. His best friend goes to, his wife's family is from, what's it called? And he goes over there about 6 months out of the year. I can't think of the country right now. Oh my goodness, I've lost my mind. Anyway, why can't I think of it right now? Anyway, that's where he's at right now. So Bill's flying buddy's gone. But he takes his flying equipment over to, you know, when he goes over there. Not Portugal. Portugal. He's in Portugal. flying. Bill's so jealous. We both have bills, you guys. Had you figured that out yet?
Yeah, we both have bills, which is kind of funny. Hi, Dana.
Hey, Dana. So how many of you are planning on making some little mini tea bag books? Or tea tab books? Out of curiosity. I really like that napkin. I don't know why it's been sitting in a drawer all this time. I don't even remember where I got it. And there was only the one, of course. It looks Moroccan almost.
It does have a little bit of a Moroccan look.
Yeah. I'm gonna cut that so I don't tear it.
So if anybody wants to buy Deb C, if you want me to loan out my bill, he's good with computers and cars, but he's a picky eater.
Who?
I said my bill is good with computers and cars, but he's a picky eater. Deb C said she didn't have a bill.
I'm betting that most ladies aren't fortunate enough to have a bill, but both of our bills are good with cars. But mine is not a picky eater.
Yeah, mine's picky. He's always been picky. His dad was a very picky eater too, so it's not
mine
a big
is a grumpy
surprise.
butt. That's what he is. He is a grumpy butt. He actually just came in and kissed me and told me he was going flying, which he was supposed to go at 10 this morning when I decided to do this earlier in the week. That was the plan originally. And then he said he wasn't going. And then I don't know what happened last night. He got mad because he couldn't find a part he was looking for. He's been rebuilding a plane all week and cramming it in to get it done. He builds planes and drones, and he was supposed to go fly. Bread and cheese.
Eddie says when he flies that he has some Valium and just makes the best of it. My husband had always said he was never going outside the country, and this conference was the one thing that would get him over there, and he is terrified. He is so scared. He has looked at every YouTube, and we were watching one because we're going through London Heathrow, and this is like days before the coronation, and he's nervous anyway. But we've been told to expect heightened security and all those fun things. So yes, he will be getting some something to help him along the way, because we will be on a plane for 8 hours. And we're gonna fix him right up. Andy, we're gonna do what our attorney friend told us to do. He said, okay, you get on the plane. That's the best flight you could have, the time of day. And he said, you get on the plane, you eat your dinner, you take 2 Benadryls, you go to sleep. You wake up, you have your breakfast, and then you stay awake all day so you don't have jet lag. So that is going to be what we do.
So your sound just got weird. Does anybody else hear that? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. Your sound got real weird. It is doing something funny.
Okay.
It's like you crawled into a tin can.
Like I
did you
crawled
do
into
something
a
different?
black hole somewhere.
Tin can.
Not
Into
sure
a what?
I said, I am not in a hole. I promise. Wax toilet paper. What?
Waxed toilet paper? Don't use that.
Wait.
I'm just doing this so I can see my lines.
Are you serious?
We're going to do this
Waxed
the opposite
toilet
way.
paper? Is there really
joking,
a thing?
That sounds painful and like a no-go. That's definitely a no-go.
I don't have a second speaker on, so I don't think it's that.
Well, we're almost done. So, and it seemed to have gotten a little bit better. I don't know what it was.
Okay, the wax toilet paper was back in the 70s. You know, I don't think I'm certain that I would not use much of that.
So, yeah, I'd rather use a leaf.
That'd be a little hard on the bum.
So was it only for tourists to keep them away, or I'm curious?
Don't know.
Kristen, have you been wiping with wax toilet paper as a child? Did you do that as a child? I'm curious.
Back in the 70s. They said back in the 70s.
Oh, she's my age, so she was probably
She was around then. Yeah.
Yeah, I was born in 72, so, and I think she's a year or two younger than me.
Eddie said he would not use the wax toilet paper. He'd just use a sock. Eddie, I have to tell you, our backup plan when COVID started and the toilet paper was scarce was to just go ahead and use up the unmatched socks. One time use.
That's
you
a
use
great
them,
plan for
away.
those. We probably have, years worth of unmatched socks because I throw them in a basket and throw them in the top of the hall closet. And then I make a new basket. So every once in a while I have to drag them all down. So I think I'll be covered. Thanks for the idea.
You can also use those for stepping pillows. When I made my pillows for the porch, that's what I did. But I don't get as many mismatched socks now.
Why do you think that is? Do you have a new dryer?
No, because I got grown kids now.
Oh, yeah, I guess that's true.
I mean, they went through socks like crazy.
Yes, they do.
They would lose them in strange places. So
you guys see I'm folding back and forth, and it doesn't matter about whether or not those match because those two sides will never see each other. One will be on one side, one will be on the other, I think, if done correctly. And I'm going to do more to it. So you saw that I cut it the opposite direction. The other one I did 4 cuts and I did it horizontal. This one I did 3 cuts and I did it vertical. And this was the result here. Ooh, stars. Anyway, I now get to decide which ones I want as pockets, how I want to, use my pages. And my book will go this way. So I'll decide probably which side is the inside, which side is the outside. Let's see this. If I double up, and the point is to have a book that doesn't have very many pages so you can fill them up pretty quick too with your tea bag or your tea tabs. So if I go like this, let's see. So I've got a pocket. I want to be able to use the other side this time too. And I think I'm just going to do the middle tab like I was doing before. And then probably fold one of these over and make it into a pocket of some sort.
Trish said she has to go. So Trish, we'll see you in the morning.
Yes, Trish, thank you so much for you and Evie coming to hang out with us. And we will see you in the morning. We don't do socks in QLD. What is QLD? What is QLD?
I do not know.
Her glucose is dropping. We don't do socks in QLD. I have to scroll up to see that.
Queensland.
Oh. Sorry. I don't know where went right over my head there. Okay, so now I get to decide kind of what direction this one is going to go. Do I want to have it open from this side and have little thin pages? Do I want to have it, I mean, either way, I can have the same middle pocket. It would just need to be glued on the bottom and there. Or do I want to have the other side be the front? And I think I'm just going to go ahead and start with my middle pocket because that's how we started the last one. And I'm going to keep the green for the inside. And so I'm going to glue it.
Okay.
I'm doing it.
You are doing it.
Mm-hmm.
I got to figure out how I'm going to cut mine. I haven't decided yet.
And now I'm going to take a few of these. And before I make any other decisions, I'm going to go ahead and wait, I got to do that differently. Hold on. Use my stencil here and there and do that same thing that we did last time. Wait, but wait. So it has to go this way, right?
Okay, Colleen's going as well. Thank you for stopping by, Colleen.
Thank you, Colleen. We'll see you later. See you in the morning. Okay, so I made my big long strip out of it by folding over every other where the pockets were there. Now I am going to be on screen here, pull some of these out. And decide which way they go. And maybe, because I'm going to do the mountains on this one, I'll use this like a little mountain range. I like that. That's cool.
I like that.
Yeah. And I'm just going to find some contrasting paint. So I'm probably going to use black this time. I want it to be high impact. So I'm thinking like black or white. Let's go with black. And I'm going to use even more black gesso because it's so much more opaque and thick. And my sponge, or you could use a stencil brush or whatever. So I'll probably use black ink on this one too. When I go to do like the pockets and stuff and go around the edges, probably something darker. And then how about, because I'm going to have the thing on the front that has the landscape, I will do like a little mock landscape right here in the inside. Just put the circle. Maybe this world has a couple moons. Who knows? And I'm going to pick this one. And this one. Well, the stripes. Well, I think it's about time for us to wrap it up. It's been a fun Saturday, and thank you for joining us for our tea party today, guys. I hope you get to make a mini book with us out of one sheet, or a tea book out of many sheets. However you want to do it, whatever floats your boat, makes you happy, you know. Thank you, Colleen, for the good stream compliment. If you're still here, I appreciate that. Okay, and one more with this.
Yes, Eddie, it was fun. And we'll look forward to seeing what mini creation you make.
Yeah, this is a fun little project, and I feel like I want to do a bunch of different styles. Covering up some of that white there. I'm not looking for perfection here because it's still going to get more, you know, with all the additions that happen, all the different little things, the tea bags. Some of them will be, let me go back to this real quick before we wrap it up. Some of them will be on the page itself. Some of them will be tucked in on little tags like these. Just think, you know, mini, whatever you would do with a different sort of art journal or art book, junk journal, how you go about doing that, and have a doodle, have a play, use your washi, use your supplies. It's just fun. And this is the general shape, and it could be longer, shorter, however you want to do it. Thank you, everyone, for coming. I'm going to go have some uncaffeinated tea now because I think I've had too much iced tea today. You guys are amazing. Thank you for coming and hanging out with us. Yeah, thanks for teabagging with us.
Thank you, everybody.
Hold it up, Lisa. Real quick there. Show us what you got. Awesome. We'll share pictures in the group, and we really appreciate each and every one of you. Thanks for the thumbs up and all the love. You guys have a great day. See you in the morning. Bye.
Bye.